Good morning, children. Welcome back to the online class of Sri Gokulam Public School, Vadagara.
Hi students, how are you? Hope all are fine and safe. Then welcome back to our history class, New Kings and Kingdoms. Now we'll start with a map. This will show you the important dynasties during the period of 7th to 11th centuries in the Indian subcontinent. There are three main kingdoms, Rashtrakutas, Gurjara Pradhiharas and the Palas. In the previous class, we learned that how did the Rashtrakutas become more powerful. Today, we shall discuss about what did the new dynasties do to gain more acceptance in their administration in the kingdoms. All the ruling dynasties were based in a specific region. At the same time, they tried to control over other regions. Most of the kings adopted a high-sounding titles. Maharajadiraja or Great King, Tribhuvana Chakravarti or Lord of Three Worlds, and so on. In spite of such claims, they often shared their power with their Samantas as well as with the association of peasants, traders and the Brahmanas. They used to collect taxes from all the people because the king owned the land. The collected taxes were used to maintenance of temples and the fort. The functionaries for collecting taxes were generally recruited from the families. In many cases, the close relatives of the kings were held these positions. How did we get the information about the king and their administration? We got the information from two literary sources, Prashasti and land grants. Then what's Prashasti? What's land grants? Prashasti is a poem written by Brahmanas who praises of kings and their achievements. Coming to the land grants, Brahmanas who assisting the king in the court in the matters of administration. The king often rewarded Brahmanas by grants of land. These were recorded on copper plate. For example, one of the poem written by Kalhana about Kashmir. Then, warfare for wealth. Here we are going to discuss about what is the main reason to do war. We have already studied that there are three major dynasties, Rashtrakutas, Gurjara Pradhiharas and the Palas in the northern India. They were always fought with each other for one particular country or city, Kannauj, which were located in the Ganga valley. Why they have to control over Kannauj? Kannauj was a most prosperous kingdom. Then very good connectivity to international trade. For centuries, the rulers belonging to three dynasties fought for control over Kannauj because there were three parties in this long-drawn conflict. The historians described it as tripartite struggle. The reason behind this war to acquire more and more wealth, so they attacked temples. In Hindu society, we have huge idols of God made with gold. So, the temples are the houses of wealth. The Afghan ruler named Muhammad of Ghazni, who came to India during the period of 997 to 1030 AD. He attacked the Somanath temple in Gujarat. In Somanath temple, everything made with gold. So he acquired maximum gold there and generally used to create a splendid city at Ghazni. Sultan Muhammad also interested to finding out more about the people he conquered and entrusted a scholar named Al-Biruni. His work, Kitabul Hind, remains an important source for the historians. A famous Chahmana ruler, Prithviraj III, who defeated an Afghan ruler, Muhammad Ghori, in 1191, but lost him very next year in 1192. Let's recall. Major kingdoms in North India during 7th centuries were Rashtrakutas, Gurjara Pradhiras and Palas. Kanauj was the most prosperous kingdom which is located near Ganga Valley. Sultan Muhammad of Ghazni, who came to India from 997 to 1030 AD. Kitabul Hind was written by Al-Biruni. The famous Chahmana ruler Prithviraj III, who defeated Muhammad Ghori in 1191. Thank you, children. Let's continue next class.